Welcome in. Mailbox Sports, and we're going to get right to it. The mail is never late. The news is never late, but the good news can always keep flowing. Major drama, Stillmatic Network. As we know, Black Friday was not a time for sales or discounts. So what we will not do at any given time is discount the dismantling of the Philadelphia, or should I say, Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Should I speak about it in that way? That we dismantled the Super Bowl champ. Handily, I might add. I know they had a garbage time touchdown, as people often like to tout about for my team. The only mailman, that's right, that's why I'm the postman, because I ain't the mailman. You dig it? You right. But we delivered out here. 2415, G Honda. As I await my co-host, don't worry about what we did out here and how we delivered. We already took care of what we call the Steel City. We showed it was more aluminum or polymer, plastic, or something like that these days. Way more than anything steel. But what we will do is, I guess, walk through some big plays in the game as I peacock and feel real proud of my 9-3 Chicago Bears. Also, we do get to look at some things that the coaching staff did well, continues to do well, and will no doubt help us as we turn our attention to the next game. A look ahead, as we have 5 games left in the season. And we understand that these ain't your same old Bears. You did? Like I said, we put the wonderful 8-3 Eagles back to 8-4. We move ahead to 9-3 and into second overall in the NFC. And as I look at the scoreboards, the Carolina Panthers are making the Los Angeles Rams game that much more of a situation where we could be tied with, indeed, the Los Angeles Rams by the end of the day, G Honda. How would you feel about that? It don't matter how you feel about it. If you celebrating or hating the Bears' victory today, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Continue to have your 101 introduced to you, because the Bears out there putting on the class for people, G Honda. If you will, kind of look at it this way. 281 yards of rushing on the ground. All major. How was let's take a break in the action. How was the game real time while you was there? What was the environment like for you to sit amongst the Eagle fans and have them hate your guts for what you was doing to them? Because work was being done from start to finish. Oh, I bet. Because, but when the game start, everybody cool, or as cool as they gonna be, because nothing happened yet and they still feel good about themselves. And then as the inevitable set in and Santa Claus walked his jolly ass on out of that stadium a little early on 24-9, I guess it was, or something like that. I really I thought to myself, I said, self, these boys, I mean, they show me something different right now, drama. Let's just talk about it. I know they was pissed off, but conversely, we was over the moon. And if you notice behind me on my backdrop, we got rid of the original for the day because we see the skyline, and today I sit above the skyline. Man, and you know what? And that's sad to say that is the actual reality, Major, that in order to avoid drama that day, I got to be out here showing you that I'm an active father, showing an experience to my kids for you to not try to get overly emotional and take it there. And, you know, like I'm always the person who justifies or tries to legitimize your opportunity to be emotional when it comes to sport. But we can't be over emotional and reaction to the point where we want to try to do harm to anybody because my team ain't doing what, you know, I thought they would. And those types of things in itself is what takes sport past rationale, and it enrages me because yes, y'all got bullied, but shut up, sit down, leave early, feel dejected. Know that it's happened to us many a day where we get to leave our home stadium feeling like we didn't deserve to have to pay for tickets that day. Philly, I know you're the champ, but you got to take that, eat it. And we about that life right there. You know, we started the game out with clock management, jumped to a 10-3 lead. From there, they did, I believe, get to 10-9 before they missed an extra point. 7-0 first quarter was good for us. So, you know, closed out pretty well in terms of being able to preserve the lead. Special teams, in terms of them missing, did, I guess, change or affect the climate of the game in terms of how they were attempting to attack, you know, once they got down. Same time, we did a lot more we did a lot more of being a physical team at the line of scrimmage on both sides, no less, to control the clock specifically, keep their playmakers off the field as much as they could. Ben had what, a 8-minute drive, another 8-minute drive. I think they said he had an 11-minute drive, and so on and so forth. Those types of chewings of the clock with 40 carries by the running backs, no less. Those was like some of the mastermind type things we talk about all the time, drama. And if you look at it, ultimately, and we say this is one of the best or the best coaching game that he's had, you allow him the grace and deference to understand that this was the 12th game of his professional career of being a head coach. I believe at any level. So, you know, like Jay Tillman, let me tell you, on the way home from a victory like this, you playing your whole lo-fi playlist because you're gonna go home and give the gift that keeps on giving. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's to the point where I told you last week, Ben Johnson had a stage of hope, belief, and knowing. And now we are in the phase that we know a few things about ourselves. You say, truth be told, Hurts just wasn't there mentally. Even the fans kept asking what's wrong with Jalen. And like, a lot of things could be weighing on Jalen because, one, part and parcel, Jalen has always faced the naysayers. So when Jalen has any game that is not successful, they are going to like try to light a fire underneath him in a negative way, because quarterbacks get the blame, but they already have a negative perception of Jalen in a lot of ways. So he has to go out there and outperform unfairly some of the metrics that others would. No less when you are the Super Bowl champ and you seem to give us your best efforts during the Super Bowl when you outplay who many would classify as the best football quarterback playing in the game right now, Patrick Mahomes. So when those types of things come about, and then you get all of the rumblings with the offense, they have lost staff members on both sides and players. You know, when you win a Super Bowl, people want to get paid. A lot of people left. Arizona got the sweat guy. A few other people. Just understand that, you know, sometimes in a season, that target on your back may just really have you in a place where could you be complacent and knowing that you already got the game's highest prize, and you may think you was never gonna get it, so you're not gonna work anymore to ascertain the next height, or is the fact that they are having a target placed on their back week in, week out by being the champs, and you have some internal, like, you know, it's alleged that his best friend on the team, I don't know who that is, seriously, so I ain't gonna speculate, but if your bestie is out here saying negative things about you when it comes to the game, you have got to, in my guesstimation, feel some sort of way, and it has to weigh on you, because out of everybody in the foxhole, I know everybody on the team ain't my mans. Some of y'all just my teammates, but when my mans ain't telling me what he telling other people, is he really my mans? And could that be like weighing down on you just the same? So I won't make excuses for him, because I'm sure that what's the word? Nobody will try to give them any excuse, or I should take that back. I think somebody might try to give them, as far as the national media, give them every excuse as to why they are so wounded, per se, so that you can not give the Bears full credit. And so I wonder, and I wait what the national pundits may say when Monday arrives, because I think there will be several heel turns. I believe there will be several unnecessary plaudits. There will still be a lot of criticism of my quarterback, much like theirs, because he has not put together this top tier game that ooh and ahs everybody. So the fact that Caleb and the conditions in that game, tell me, because you were there as well, Drama, when we can speak to this, we surmised on stream that the reason some of these passes were like they were is because of the wind factors out there, in terms of some of the incompletions and things of that nature. How is the wind inside the stadium from a fan standpoint? Because, you know, from the outside looking in, straight from a screen, looked like those flag poles and everything were blowing crazy. And so to be able to totally understand that, we gotta, I think it's best that we got what we classify as sideline reporting, because I think that as often as we give Caleb flack for things, the field conditions and the weather conditions have to be taken into consideration sometimes, and the fact that they were so fearful on both sides to kick at critical times in the game, I think those types of things would render themselves pretty necessary in terms of being taken in consideration when we talk about things that you talk about. Which brings us to how you have Kyle Monangai have 130 yards with a longer 31 with a tutty. I mean, Monangai was physical between the tackles out there. Bottom line, explosive second level plays. And I did a short on one of them, I believe. That 31-yarder was burst that we typically get to see from a guy such as Swifty and Monangai. But Monangai, while we look at him to be the bruiser, he really did put some of those things together. And yeah, they play at the crib, and I'm aware of that. But I also the lake effect win may not have the same swirl. It may be at your back in a way that gives you an opportunity to be safe as opposed to not being safe. But we'll get to look at it in a different way as we get to have a little bit of that 101 given to you from not only my perspective, but from another loyal and supportive fan of what we might classify as good, better, best headquarters. You understand what I'm saying? So whenever he get the melodic DJ voice out, my man G Class gonna put y'all together out there. I don't need to do
What's going on, brother?
What's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
Doing just fine. How you doing, man?
Hey, what they say? I'm fan freaking tastic on Victory Weekend. We gonna call it. It extends past Victory Monday, Saturday, and all the other things right there. It just kind of takes on a whole leg of its own when we talk about this wonderful thing called 9-3, bro.
Yeah, man. It feels pretty good, dude. Especially since we went into the season. It's always funny when you make these predictions and you just guessing, right? But we saw the signs, right? We saw some change. Some the winds had changed. We saw some things. They weren't the same as they had been. Now we didn't know how deep that would run, and again, you got to get a lot of people to buy in, right? It's not just a headship change, but everybody has to buy in with the change. But listen, this has been a culmination. Like this is how I look at it. Friday was a culmination of all of the changes that they had made from the off season up until now, and everything that they had done showed in this game for the world to see, because they took their belt off, bent Philly over, and gave them what they deserve.
I love it about that.
I think and that's what we've been seeing in parts, right? We've been seeing that some games a little bit more than others, but each, you could talk about the schedule, but each game leads to the next if you do it right. And I think Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen understand that. You're not going. They didn't plan to have everybody there, but I know I'm talking long, but they didn't plan to have everybody there, right? But what they did have was everybody they needed, clearly, and they knew that, and they held the standard. And again, it showed on Philly. I've never seen men get handled like that. It was football is a manly sport. It's just bodies banging against each other, and the Bears manhandled Philly. I don't know what that means for later on, but I sure feel good today. Let me say it like that.
And do me a favor, back
Yes,
out
sir.
and come back in so I can get your Cam to do something for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what I think it means for us going forward and in the here and now.
Yes, sir.
So if we take back to the beginning of the year and we understand that at least I, as a fan, believe that Ben would bring what we classify or classified as his offense from Detroit, not Detroit's offense. And so what I could infer from that is that he would have a 2 running back system. He would have a slot guy that is strong with his hands and able to run every route on the tree. He would be able to take some of the other personnel he had and tailor them to being as suitable as they could be in an evaluation year to see who needs to stay around and who doesn't. And he drafted a couple weapons himself that he also had plans for, and those plans, as of yet, have started to come to fruition. And this is what I mean by that. We didn't understand the plan for Monangai or for Burden or for Loveland or anybody like that when it comes to the actual involvement in the game plan. We didn't understand the disparity, of some may call it, in target share between DJ and Rome. And we didn't understand the inability to get certain things going in the run game when the season started. What Ben has told us at every level is that, one, the plan early on was to be a hybrid team and to compete at every level and do what was needed on both sides of the ball, specifically on offense in terms of how he tailors it to get it done. And that was going to be able to utilize playmakers that he had at every level. And he never told us specifically how he utilized those playmakers, but he did say that he would be able to utilize them. Early on, when we talked about the preseason and he spoke about being in the playbook, Caleb being able to break some old tendencies and so on and so forth, overloading him with the playbook to see what he knows and what he doesn't. He's given us pretty much every ingredient that he's put into the pot when it comes to his expectation on the field, from cleaning up pre-snap penalties, being a disciplined team, being a trench first type of team in terms of building from the inside out, and everything that he said up to this point, including, I believe, because it's not been proven, but he has damn sure got my attention with it, and saying that we will be playing our best football in December and January. I think the last game of November was pretty indicative of what Ben would like to call a preview of what's to come. And that's not clicking on all cylinders just yet. And we'll talk about why. But 281 yards on the ground, first time since 85, since the Shuey and Sweetness go together out there. Pretty significant to say that that's the first time it's happened since early on in my lifetime. And I now share that generation with a couple times over. So we get to see how funny it is that we come back 40 plus years later and something like that happens. Not to mention, 2 times this year, 2 running backs have went over 100 yards in a game. 3 times actually, and twice it's happened for the Bears, once for the rest of the league. So being this run heavy to be able to instrument the pass, and I want to know exactly because I think the run has been able to have Caleb totally comfortable in play action, and it will continue to develop itself in the conditions that we see fit out there on the field to push the ball down the field and be a bit more vertical. Trust the middle of the field when it comes to your playmakers, a la Coast and Loveland, Cole Kmet, your safety valves, which open up the field for other people. And he's learned how to play with all his toys very evenly. And I think that's what Ben ultimately wanted him to learn. No toy is as shiny or more shiny than the other. However, in that toy box, you got one you want to play with a bit more than others. So my question for you before we move forward is, we can see right here, and we're going to turn off my wonderful, or can we put it right in front of me? Yeah, we can do that. We see it right there. It's a wonderful, beautiful Bears cup. And in that cup is what I call Bears Kool-Aid. You drinking the Kool-Aid, then not only do we make the playoffs, because I'm looking ahead for a moment. But can we win a game in the playoffs based on what you've seen thus far from your beloved Bears?
Yes. Well, we got to make it first. And I know that's, people like at this point, well, that's a foregone conclusion because they're guaranteeing a Cleveland win. No win in this league is guaranteed. But I've believed in this team as soon as they got Ben Johnson. Like that, nothing has changed. I have not wavered, my friend. We just had to wait and see if we could get the W's to stack up, because I was really, honestly, I was looking at this as a development year. But now that we're here and we've got buy-in, we've got consistency, we've shown dominance. Not only, if we make the playoffs, which I believe we will, can we win a game? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And
no question.
In my head, one last week, for many, that was still a question. And I'm never speaking to the fact that looking past anyone to arbitrarily think that we're in the playoffs. But sometimes you can look at a team and think, well, yeah, they can get there, but they won't win a game, or this, that, and the third type of hyperfixation can happen. So the question in itself is not to overlook anybody, because we even as recent as 2 weeks ago looked at games and we had certain thoughts about said games. See the details in that video from last week or 2 weeks ago, I should say. Need to give me a link out so I can prop it up, because Negrodamus is not what nobody professes to be, but I love to be right sometimes. And G-Class got me all hyped up, told me to believe in the Eagles being wounded and one-winged, and you know what? I went ahead and said, hey, they wasn't flying so well out there, so had to be something wrong with one of them wings. I'm gonna say the under ruffle or something.
Wait, did I say that the Bears was gonna win or the Eagles?
Last
time
if I'm correct, you said we were taking an L, but you reversed course and gave us a feel good Friday that I wasn't necessarily going buy into. So I don't know if we were drinking Kool-Aid already, but the reverse Uno came out mid prognostication, and that's how we got to where we was.
You're right. But I also said before the season, I said the Bears will win this game. I do remember that for sure. Just saying. Now, yes, I was a little shaky, but a lot of things went into that. Looking at, of course, who we played, but you can't. My thing that I always have to remember is that the schedule is the schedule, right? We don't schedule the games; the league does. So the way that they schedule them, yeah, we got whooped against Minnesota. Not whooped. We lost to Minnesota. We got whooped against the Lions, but from that point on, we have been building something. People want to look at the bye and say, well, everything changed at the bye. No, in my opinion, the run game was adjusted. Our offensive line, once they settled in and said, we're not doing this Braxton Jones thing again. All right, we're going to go to a different route. Once they committed to that part took off. But once they beat Dallas and Oakland, once they beat Vegas, that's when for me, I started to look like, okay, now it's back even. We're going to go in, sit down, look at some stuff. And they came out, man, and regardless of who was on the schedule, they've got it done. And it's hard to win in this league. You could say, listen, the Giants gave Detroit a fight. People want to talk about the Giants. New Orleans, after we beat them, they came back and won the next week. Like, you look at, it is hard to win in this league, man. You could look at the Bengals. The Bengals beat the Ravens, made them look bad.
We'll talk about them.
Like,
I think they're going to win the division.
We went head up with them. So I'm saying, You can't just act like none of these games matter. It all matters, and especially how you're doing it. And Ben Johnson has shown competency, actually better than that. He's shown a full grasp of his players and the schemes that they're deciding to run from week to week. I did not think that they would be able to run the scheme that they did against Philly. I did feel good about the run game, but I didn't think we would do that.
I could dig that.
And then the defense, and now we've got two guys back. Jalen came back, and Gordon came back. Now it gets interesting. So I can't just sit and act like the games before it didn't matter and that we didn't see what we were seeing. If you're a Bears watcher, you know what you were seeing. Your question was, can they do it against top tier teams? Right? We consider Philly a top tier team, right? I think the rest of the way, besides Cleveland, every team will play, or every game will play. It'll be against a top tier team.
Allegedly,
right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
Allegedly, I think we could all agree, right? They're considered top tier. Just looking at the record. Looking at the record. So we'll be able to. We'll know. We know now, right? I'm not saying we're gonna do to what we did against Philly, against everybody else, but listen, you're gonna have, what my man say, you're gonna have to deal with us. You're gonna have to deal with us. It's not no, oh, well, we better than you because we done this the last few years. No, you're gonna have to deal with us. I can't wait for this Green Bay game. I'm so amped because I'm ready.
And before we get to that one, Major Drama asked a question, and the answer is like clear as cellophane, if you will. He says, what's the missing piece so that there's not a question of can we win a game? And that to me is two things. This thing called health. Because if you notice, this is 2 straight games where we played with 0 starting linebackers. And the defense has been hellacious, to say the least. Missing integral, not just running the mill. We talking about somebody who might draw all-pro nominations, if not the bid this year, in Tremaine Edmonds. And I know that he will be a Pro Bowler at base minimum. And TJ is a tackle machine when he's on the field. So if we realize that they are missing those guys, not to mention the third portion of that and being Noah Sewell to start, you realize that the defense is not nearly at the level that it could be and the level that I thought Dennis Allen would be able to put it in based on position. Not to mention the new toys of a Nashawn Wright and a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who were not at the beginning of the season factored into those plans, because that in fact gives somebody like Tariq, who we at some point later in the season we will have a discussion about. I won't rain on anybody's parade these days. We get to understand that coupled with this thing called 18 fully grasping, or let's say 75% grasping the things that he needs to in terms of the actual completions of some plays. Now, I know some of those things have been dropped, but what I mean is I think Caleb has in some ways performed at a very high level for the play action. I believe that in the last few weeks, he's starting to show us that he can roll out. And in the win, I want people to understand how difficult this was. In 30-plus mile-per-hour winds, he dropped one in the bread basket that showed you Omarion's touch. You understand what I'm saying? If you're old enough, you'll know. Like, the way in which he showed you that in the wind shows you that he can be infinite. And Drama, to speak to even what you just said right there, so what would the draft be like? The draft is like this. It does not deviate from what we talked about all the time, which is the line, offensive and defensive. You still draft those positions, I believe, first and foremost. What it does also give you the opportunity, though, is to realize how you can do that. And by that, I mean, if in fact the plan that was an inadvertent plan, believed by many, to get Ozzie finally to understand how to play the left side of the field and be a mauler that they drafted him to be, when many already were really willing to say that Ryan and the crew made a mistake, when in fact the plan just wasn't there as fast as people wanted it to be there. If Ozzie is what we thought Ozzie was at the beginning of the year when they drafted him, you don't have to draft a starting left tackle. So now you get to be in the situation where if you have established that this guy on the right is going to be here for years to come, this guy on the left is going to be there for years to come, and we can even pencil in the guy in the middle, you can draft the heir apparents to the guys like a Joe Tooney and a Jonah Jackson in the interim, and you don't have to draft them first round overall. If you want to, okay, it can be a late round pick because you can drop back. You don't have to get the creme de la creme, but you could. You got flexibility to do what you want to do, but I still think you address the line in a way in which you fortify your trenches to be as deep as your secondary is. You want everything to look that deep, and if you can continue to do so and stockpile talent to go along with that youth, your defensive line, Grady Jarrett, Billings, those guys are older. We don't know still about a Dexter, so you are still, or a Turner, so you're still going out there to get the best defensive lineman that you can get, things like that. You know, like you're doing everything that the Steelers wish they could do, which is why G Honda keep telling me about what we didn't do against the Steelers except beat them, which was I thought was the result. We left. We went home real quick because we was at home already when we whooped on you without Aaron or with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and sent you on home. So we ain't got to talk about that. It's good to see that you're going to take another L today. But we're not worried about that right now. We talking about a winning team all the way, a 9-3 team, a team that the Rams continue to keep playing around over here, might be tied for number one in the NFC because Carolina too close in this game last time I checked. And if you allow any team to hang around,
they're going to win it.
Oh, okay. So I stopped paying attention. That's how dangerous they can be right there. That's as dangerous as G Honda predicting Steeler victories. You know how that goes. It go bad real quick. What I'm saying is, if Caleb is able to make more of the layups that I've started to see him make with the tight ends and the running backs, if he can start getting those with the wide receivers a bit better, I believe some of the deep plays will come. As you can see, they started bringing Luther in to get touches in terms of the short routes, along with DJ and everybody else. Rome, I need Rome to get his head back in the game. I don't know exactly what is the disconnect right now, but it's not a disconnect in terms of a malcontent. It's like it almost works itself out with the amount of people they get to target that you can go without noticing us really what you call it, a drop off on offense, to be honest. But if we can unlock those next two levels, I believe that we talking about more than a win, Major Drama. Just to talk about it. So let's get over to the defense. Turnovers again, bro. And this time, could we have seen the end of the tush push?
No. It's too successful of a play to say that this is it. What I will say though is you need to watch out for them opportunistic guys like Nashawn Wright. Because if you saw Nashawn, you go back and watch the play. Nashawn, he was sneaking around. He wasn't trying to stop them
yardage
from pushing. He cut around the corner
looking for an opening.
Cut around the corner and saw the ball.
Bad
Said, "Let me
snatching.
get up in there real quick."
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to watch out for, and you can't have it both ways. So I don't think it's gonna stop. Like you can't have it where, you could do the tush push and you can have these guys behind them, pushing them, trying to get 2, 3, 4 yards, and then say, "Well, they whistled the ball dead." You can't have it both ways, man. It's got to be. Either you whistling it dead or we pushing. Okay, so when you don't whistle it dead, like you ain't supposed to anyway, because they want to get the push, you got to be watching for this guy coming around the corner.
He said, "Is we pushing or no?"
Yeah. So no, I don't think it's gone. No.
Now next week, next year I do believe it's gone. I believe it's voted out. Unfortunately, I don't really.
I don't see how they can even do that. I know
The
they
argument,
did it, but
the
I don't know
argument
how they
that you,
can do that.
the argument should always be made, and this is where the tush push should be argued. Go back to a sneak because Jalen, if you ask Jalen, they last week they say who do you like pushing you forward the most out of whomever does. He's like nobody. It's like I bench press 400 plus for a reason. I squat 400 plus for a reason. I can push myself. A quarterback sneak is what you can do if you are in fact that dude. The push itself is disallowed because they tell you that you cannot push players forward. Now, what I'm noticing now is how they're circumventing. They're starting to pull players forward. Because if you notice with Manun guy yesterday, a few players were in front of a couple of those bulldozers. Mainly, I believe the one when he did get into the end zone, where it's just a slight tug of him forward as opposed to being in his back, which is not against the rule, but the way in which it was put together, it shows you that a proper defensive stance can go ahead and stop it. Not to mention that if you're gonna continue to do like you said, fluctuate with the rule call, either the forward progress is there, or we pushing, or we're not allowed to push players forward. Which one are you gonna take? And if you're not gonna take one of those measures to be firm on, then thus the reason to get rid of the rule, because it's controversial in the fact in which you can't even tell me what day or what play you gonna blow dead versus which one you're not, because the week before they blew one dead and the same result happened, but they didn't get the takeaway. So we were fortunate or charmed, as I call this season, to see another thing go our way, but it could have went, as we see last week, the other way. It gives you the grounds for it to be so ambiguous that you have to get rid of it, because I cannot have a nebulous play like that be the reason a game is decided on either side, in my opinion. But, if they don't, I really don't care, because I don't believe that it stops the things that we want to do, which is on offense. Can you stop us? And on defense, Peanut, the spirit is alive and well in the locker room. I think he stopped by every now and again since seeing with the FBI to say, what up, though? Or he texts and say, you up? I know he'd be out there getting them together, because being inseminates the past culture into the locker room, and the way in which he makes everybody, like Olin, while he doesn't get along with the owner, still has a relationship with the lineman. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Ben is not missed in any way on the ways in which he needs to tie us together. I continue to talk about the coaching staff when people try to overlook Father Time, i.e. Eric Bieniemy, when people try to overlook the hype man himself and Antoine Randall L., when people don't understand that taking the ball away is a mentality, as he continues to say it, and Al Harris. I'm nervous about that guy leaving one day real soon. And so you get to understand some of these guys, Dan Roush, when he tell you about people losing focus and don't do it, and is able to call you out and let you know exactly what needs to be done with the right amount of parenting and tough love in terms of coaching, they're listening to things they want out of these players right now. And if you're already getting those things out of said players, and we are still yet to see the team operate at optimal level. Now, we have seen the team 2 games in a row operate and play a 60-minute game, which is different from earlier in the season when we were finding ways to win. We went into these last 2 games playing a 60-minute game to, I dare say, in this game, having a large amount of kick up your feet in said game against Super Bowl champs. Like, we asked for a game, can we coast without having to buckle up for the last drive or the last play? And they gave us that against the best team on their schedule to date. And tell me how you like it when they say you have Jalen Carter and everybody else on your line. Stop us. Jalen looked good on the first play, and I didn't hear his name anymore after the game. I mean, for the rest of the game.
From what I understand, there's a compilation video out there of what's my man name now? I'm blanking. I'm terrible.
On
of
Philly?
No, on Chicago, our right tackle.
Oh, Darnell Wright. You can't forget the Wright.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew Wright. I couldn't get his first name. There's a compilation video of Darnell Wright handling.
See my shorts for details.
Jalen Carter. Handling Jalen Carter throughout the evening. So, you know, that's been a point of contention with the Bears for a few years. Well, since the draft, since they made that selection, they went with him over Jalen. And some people didn't feel like that was the best. Everything takes time. Sometimes coaching really does make a difference. Honestly, I would say every time coaching
all
makes
the time.
A difference because
structure is critical.
Yes. And so they've tapped into something with Darnell, and I hope there's no going back because I like what I see. I want to read you a stat. Caleb Williams has faced 29 unblocked pressures this season, tied up for 11th most in the NFL. Yet he is the only quarterback who has not taken a sack on such plays. It's a combination, right? People have been talking about Caleb and his development. And we talked about this a few weeks back, probably like a month or so ago, when we talked when I told you I looked at the all 22 and he was leaning. For me, we should view him more as a Josh Allen type rather than a Patrick Mahomes type. I don't think you agree with that assessment, but I said we'll see. Well, just
in body type, I wouldn't agree with it because and just to give everybody why I didn't. I would more so have to put him as a hybrid of the two in the way in which his arm talent supersedes Josh's, and it looks like Patrick. But his elusiveness and his way to utilize his legs as a weapon as well does give you Josh. So if I would have to lean between the two, obviously I think that his arm talent is far superior to his leg talent, albeit no matter how talented I see him in being elusive, being able to utilize his legs, I think that the angles, the way in which you notice the way in which he threw to Cole, he was throwing away from across his body, in the wind, and dropped a bucket drop in there, with the rollout. So I'm just speaking of the way in which, if I had to choose between the two, that would be the way in which I would lean, because it's a cop out to say that he is indeed a hybrid of the two. Maybe not the size of either, but the skill set of both.
The combination. No, I get you. I agree. I think I agree with you 100%. His skill is a combination of both of their talents. Let's say. I think he's a little bit more elusive than Josh, because he gets out of some spots where I'm like, he's dead to rights, man. Josh is just bigger than most people, so he'll shake them off.
Damn.
But I think Caleb leaned upon his leg talent, let's say, more so earlier. But as the season has gone on, we are seeing him lean upon his arm talent in a more responsible way, can I say? Especially when you look at even before the touchdown pass to Komet, he threw he put touch on a pass to, was it Swift? I think, coming out of the backfield. It was like right before that play.
Yes. Oh, just a real dump out, real quick, super fast dump out. Yep.
Yes. But he tapped the ball and then dropped it. It was beautiful, and I was like, oh man, wait a minute, because we haven't seen that basically all season.
That was through somebody's body or whatever. If you look at that play right there, he threw between a couple people to zip that to him.
Yes. So then you look at a couple plays later, they run the same play that they ran early in the game, but it was the play. You can just go back and check the tape if you want. It was the play where there was a miscommunication, where Swift went to the wrong side. So when Caleb came out from the snap, he was faking to him, but Swift wasn't there, right? So they ran that play again. Caleb is rolling out, and he's got the easy dump off, but he gives the ball a tap and lofts, an absolute beauty. over to Cole Kmet, dude, for the touchdown on the run. So when we're talking about development, which we know is extremely important, Caleb has shown it. He's shown that not only can he be coached, but he wants to develop. But you gotta, and I think they're doing it the right way, because they don't want to take the run part out of there. You know how some people, they're like, no, he's got to stay in the pocket. He's got a quarterback from the pocket, which I believe he's trying his best to do. But he also has to get out of the pocket, right? He's got to. Everybody has a way to get a feel for the game. Caleb's way is to, let's get him out, get his blood pressure up, you know what I'm saying? Get running a little bit. Just get moving a little bit. But I need you, when on these certain plays, I need you to get settled. I need you to get settled in. And he showed, in my opinion, you look at the numbers. I think he was like 16 of 36, something like that. Don't quote me. I can get the number.
Don't quote me.
I get the number. Don't quote me, man. But I mean, I got the stats right here. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. He was 17 of 36, right, for 154. Now, those numbers don't blow you away. He threw a touchdown and an interception. Again, it doesn't blow you away. But what he was able to do within those 17 completions, and even within some of those attempts, right, he showed you development. He showed you they're doing something different, too. I don't know if you saw if you watch Tim Jenkins, you know, friend of the program, Tim Jenkins, he does oh no, we're not on camera right now.
Oh, my bad.
Can y'all still hear us though?
My bad. It was me.
Oh, okay. Tim Jenkins did he does the breakdowns from the quarterback perspective. And he was talking about there's a step that Caleb is doing now that he hadn't been doing all season. They've adjusted something to where he can do this step. There we go. We back. He adjusted his movement so that he can do a step before he throws, and he has to throw quickly, right? These are things. What I'm saying is he's developing, not just him, but the entire team is developing. You got buy-in everywhere. I don't know, man. The sky's the limit. And right now, as we speak, Carolina is up by 3 again. It's a dogfight with the Rams. So I don't know what this means, man. We haven't been here since, I don't know, the 2000s.
But I don't think we've been here before, G-Class. You know, with Lovey, we always had defense, and we knew we was gonna be able to run it. And he could never get the coordinator to or the receivers to align with their defense. When you had Trestman, you had a top 5 offense with a 30th ranked defense or whatever all the time, bottom feeders and no takeaways. So now you fast forward to right now, injured, battered, bruised, and has been all season. And Dennis has not only kept the team in contention in terms of points being taken away via the takeaway, but he's also started to take the team and drop those points per game so people can stop trying to prop up a couple bad games that they did have and utilize that as the overall narrative of the team. They've stopped allowing so many running yards every week. The secondary has always been healthy enough, along with the linebackers at times, to have us not look incompetent in pass defense. And so those types of things right there, I am so rooting for Quinshon Judkins to score a touchdown in this drive. Nonetheless, everybody has been given the proper opportunity on both sides of the ball to have bad games, to develop properly, to execute what the coaching staff wants you to do as a unit, more so than just an individual. And everyone's had an opportunity to be leaned upon in the process. And I think, one, I've never seen that, where, yes, the game's been bad all time, including for special teams, but we need special teams to make one good play, and you do. Or the defense has not been what they need to be all game, but you need a turnover on downs or a turnover takeaway, and they do. or you need Caleb to settle down, who's been erratic all day, whirly burdens, people want to call it, and out of nowhere makes a wonderful throw and run to extend the drive and get a touchdown. And you get to see over and over again how Ben, every week, puts another layer to his game plan to show you that not only is the team prepared for growth, but the team is utilizing every opportunity to display said growth. And in that, I told you when we talked about it, hope, belief, and knowing. And now it is all but assured that they know. Not only can I step into my house and affect change out there, because we lost one game at home, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and 2 on the road. Detroit and Baltimore on the road, and Minnesota we blew at home. So we lost 2 games on the road out of 9 games played. We lost 1 game at home. And we are starting some of the stretch run where we play more home games than road, if I'm correct. So 3 out of 5 home games, I think that gives us the ultimate time to continue to reinforce that we are good outside, inside, on the road, at home, and the offense has still not put together a solid game of 100% efficiency. But we see that on a moment's notice, the offensive line can put you on their back and being scheming, and the running backs with their vision and contrasting styles can go out there and take your soul at any given day, no matter who you think you got out there, San Francisco, Cleveland, talking to people like you. It's gonna be a tough game, but you got to do that.
I ain't talking to none of these teams. We'll see them on the day. We play just to back you up. We play at Green Bay. Cleveland is at our place. Mm-hmm. Then the Packers is back at our place, which is a TV. They don't even have a day.
Two games are because they anticipate flexing because we worthy.
Yeah,
talk about it.
Yeah. And then we go out to Philly. I'm sorry, we go out to San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm still not understanding that. That's a Sunday night game.
That's cool.
And then last game of the season is against the Lions, which I think. I honestly think the Lions are gonna be like reeling, right? I don't think the Lions are gonna be ready for us. They tried to they went so far as to call old Frank back. This dude Frank was trying to work out, then got a grade 3 hamstring strain.
Like,
he done for the season. Come on,
man. Sit back on the couch, Frank.
Right.
That's what they told him.
Like, come on,
man. Big dog. You ain't ready, man. You tried. Like, thank you, man. We appreciate everything you got going on. Thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night. Is what they basically told him. Like he always gonna be. They say he always gonna be a member of the family, the Lions organization. When they start talking like that, they're like, "Bruh, why you come out here and do that, man? Why you waste our time? We had hope. Being gone, they ain't got no line. The defense is toothless right now. The play caller don't know how to call plays. I told you he stole the first 15 from Ben. And they try to dress it up a little bit, and now it ain't working. And they might miss Amon-Ra for the next 2 weeks, or at least a week or 2.
It's not a mic. They say he's out.
Okay.
He's out.
Well, I know this week they played Thursday or something like that, I believe. So that's a quick turnaround. I know you're gonna miss that game, but when you think about the ramifications to those types of things, our team is still gaining momentum, and I think that Ben is a coach that feeds off of ego and preparation. And I think it's a mad scientist type of way, in the sense that if you remember back to his press conference, your coach mentioned one name. And people looked at it for him to be personable or taking it personal against Matt LaFleur when he spoke on Matt LaFleur. But if you realize, one of the things you have to do specifically as the Chicago Bear head coach is to guarantee dominance against the Green Bay Packers. And while he didn't say beat the Packers and da-da-da-da-da, he mentioned the dude who he want to beat. Both of those are OC guys or head coaches that were OCs, and they have offensive minds. And he wants nothing more than to prove that he is a superior mind to Matt LaFleur. So he called him out by name, bro, because his playing clicking is superior. And he want to prove in your house that there will be no Lambo leaps taking place for your team more so than his team will get what they need. And I believe it's set up in a way that Ben has circled more than the home games because he understands the importance of the home games. I think Ben won both of those games for a reason, man. I need to prove to everybody in this division when we started at 0-2 that we're not the little brothers anymore. So 3-3 won't do.
Yeah, let them know.
3-3 won't do.
Let them know.
And I need to go ahead and show you that in your home building, it's going to be the first time where my offense explodes and shows you exactly what it could be on full display for the Lambeau faithful. First and foremost, before anybody else sees it. Like, we gonna unveil it for y'all. It's a wine and cheese social, and Oshkosh Bagosh, Wisconsin, pull up. And I think he got plans for certain things, man. That's why he went on here and gave you your food this week, because next week he out here on money. He on grind time. Get your wieners from the circle this week, because next week we on business, bro. Like, he ain't out here. His food taste stepped up. His food taste stepped up for real. He got a charcuterie board next week, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
all types of cheeses.
Yes, whichever ones you can think of. And when you think about a thing like a Cleveland game, I don't believe he allows his team to lose focus in a Cleveland game, because you understand how dangerous Myles Garrett and the crew is. You will not let a Shadua make his name for himself against your defense when you're supposed to be more superior to outthink a rookie per se.
This is what I appreciate. If I can, this is what I appreciate about the Bears. I think that ever since that Lions game, they have came out ready to perform to the best of their ability. Now, does that mean that they've just ran over people? No, not necessarily. I mean, if you look at our point differential now we have I think it's a plus 3 point differential, which doesn't matter to me. I mean, matter to me. The games were close. All right, got it. But if you look, Cowboys, Raiders, Commanders, Saints, the Ravens game was a little weird. And I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But after that, we won 5 straight. So I think every single game, the Bears have came out ready to play. And I think they're taking it week to week, which is something that I appreciate. That I keep having this sick feeling about the Browns game, right? But then I'm like, wait a minute, man. Yeah.
He don't
but then I think
that.
about it, I'm like, well, we've taken each game as they come. We have not allowed ourselves to look forward, past any team. So will we be ready for the Browns? Yeah. And just like, okay, we celebrate this Eagle win, but now it's Packer week, baby. Sunday, 3:25 at their place. Let's go. Ben is going to be ready to go. And that's one thing I think I appreciate more about this. Not just Ben, but the coaching staff in general, man. Like Dennis Allen, I don't know if they do like coach of the year for like defensive coordinators. Dennis Allen has to be in the running. You got to be talking about this man. I'm looking at the Carolina Rams. You got to be... You have to recognize this man and these coaches for what they've done to prepare not only the starters, but also everybody behind them to be ready to play. Who is this amen cat? You know what I'm saying? What? Ain't never heard this man name before.
Bamiga. He's on the team last year, but you are a depth piece. You're the 5th linebacker.
Yeah.
You're a veteran that I shouldn't see until the end of the game.
But he's up here hitting the hole like he's a starter. Like there is no hesitation in his steps. I must say, man, I really like the picture went out again. Yeah, I really appreciate.
I had to check on a bet, y'all.
I really appreciate what this team has done overall, and I thought that just as important the decision for head coach was, I thought that every other coach choice that you made was just as important, because
and
you have to set a standard.
And the way in which he did that is what we talked about very early on in the YouTube conversation to begin with. Off season, hiring and everything else. These are the things that we talked about. Much more than just being in his offensive mind, but was the way in which he put together a staff. When people questioned the running back room, I countered with Eric Bieniemy. When people talked about the depth of the secondary, we talked about the enhancement that Al Harris is going to bring. When we talked about the wide receiver room and how they were going to be prepared every week and ready to go, Antoine was always going to be that guy. And when we talked about how we can get improvements, he went out and got the best lineman coach in Dan Rauscher, not the person he knew. Antoine is the only guy on the staff that is a guy he brought with him. Everybody else is somebody he went out and sought the best of the best that was available because he wanted an Avengers type of coaching staff. He is beyond ego when it comes to getting the best football minds around him to make his tenure
Which is what
the
you
most
want.
successful. Yes, but oftentimes ego or fear will allow a coach to not hire the braggadocious OC or DC for fear that he will take my job one day. When if you have the success that you are supposed to have in being a leader of men, including those on your staff, then you have nothing to worry about. If you find somebody older than you find somebody that's still able to understand the hierarchy, the level of thought it takes to prepare a game plan, and how things work for success.
You're talking about like Dennis Allen.
Yes, Dennis has that ego is done for because I made the right choice. I didn't just go hire one of the best up and coming defensive minds. Yes, I could do that, and it can work. But I can also get somebody who's been a head coach that's gonna say, "Hey, that's in this instance, this is what you should be able to do." And most can say, "Well, you wasn't successful." He had 3 bites at the apple. That means he was successful enough to know what not to do at minimum, and how best to learn from mistakes is to learn from other people's mistakes, and to have a person on your staff that can teach you that, along with somebody who's even hungrier to prove that what he did from day one up to how he's been in some ways stripped of opportunity in Eric Bieniemy shows you that when you talk about a DeAndre Swift won't run tough up the middle. BS if you believe that, because I got a different standard for you, and it's going to be to utilize you the best of your abilities, not just the ones you want to use, all the muscles. You got to use all of them in your face. You can't just use the ones you want to. And so to understand that what's between your ears is most important, or as important to how you going to churn forward. You start to understand that the coaching staff you put together changed the culture, and thus put them in a situation to understand not only can they compete, but they can do so at the highest of levels with anybody. And I think that is starting to permeate not only the locker room, but the city, and fortunately for some and unfortunately for others, the national media are going to have to start eating and understanding that it is what it is, and what you thought was a novel thing is not so novel, because them boys is ready to play on both sides of the ball, man.
Listen, you're gonna have to deal with us, man. We go back to go back to earlier in the season when Ben Johnson called out their practice habits. He said, "I don't think we're practicing." I think I'm paraphrasing. I want to say he didn't think that we were practicing like a championship team.
Yep. Wasn't practicing like a championship team, exactly.
Yeah, and again, these are little things that need to be said. You would never hear, and listen, it's like comparing wives or comparing girlfriends, man. This is something that you try not to do, but you can't help it sometimes. You would never hear this from Matthew Eberflus, okay? You would never hear him say, "I don't think we're practicing." I don't think we're practicing at a championship level, because he wouldn't understand what that meant, right?
No.
And though Ben Johnson has never been to the champion, like to a Super Bowl, they have played in a championship game. if we remember, and he understands what it takes to build something from the ground up, and that day-to-day grind and focus that you need to have in this league, and it's rubbing off on these guys, man. I'm not only I've enjoyed this process thoroughly. I'm a process person, so I love to let's lay it out. Let's what's the day to day, right? I lock in on day to day stuff, and then I look back, and somebody was like, "Well, you accomplished this and you accomplished that." It's like, well, I didn't, that's great, but I was looking at the day to day. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do the best I can on this day with this thing I'm doing right here. Ben Johnson has a grasp and an understanding of. This is what we need to do on a day to day, but these day to days will get us to this end point that we're trying to reach. So if we keep doing this, we're gonna look up and we're gonna be in an NFC Championship game with an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be, and let's break it down. We're gonna have a chance to get to the playoffs. We're gonna have a chance to get a bye. We're gonna have a chance in that first game, and then we're gonna have a chance, so on and so forth. So I am completely enjoying this process. I want to beat the Packers so bad. We don't got to stomp them out, but I want to beat them, man. I want to beat them because they do a lot of talking over there. The gums be flapping over there, man.
I got Packer friends that grew up on my block. On my block. Not somebody in my neighborhood. When we was little kids. Around here with funky ass green and gold on. And still be out here popping that same stuff on social media. Rest assured, it's circled.
They do a lot of yapping over there, man. And I'm, and I guess you could say rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? They have put it on us.
Yes.
And for a long time. But I'm ready for things to change. And I think we got the guys to do it for a long time, not just, a year or a game. We got the guys to do it for a long time. Let's go on out there. I'm ready to go. Let's listen. Gas up the bus right now. Let's head on up there. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go. Hold on, your mic, bro. I think your mic is out.
There we go. My bad. I say gas up the motherfucking bus and let's get ready to go to first place because the Rams just took an L over there, man.
Ooh.
Welcome to a tie for first in the NFC North, and let's not overlook it. Unfortunately, we're there now. An opportunity to have a first round bye because you are in position to do so.
Yes.
Pole position, quite possibly, based on the record. I know we lost 2 games in the division. We'll find out what our conference records look like, but that's a serious thing that you are at minimum tied for first in the NFC overall. Not just leading the North, but quite possibly the best team at day's end in the NFC when you see a graphic that comes near anybody that way. G Honda, can you say that? No. Can't even say that about your own damn division. Go worry about some things over there that really matter, like scouting a quarterback, because I think we done found ours. You understand what I'm saying? Now look, one of them, we might be able to draft us another backup, and we might can gift y'all a Tyson Bagent in a year or two.
Yeah, we'll throw Bagent over there again.
We might can show you a winner, because Tyson a winner. He gonna be ready for you. DK won't be happy, but I mean the rest of the team gonna thrive, because I think he built for it. With that being said, we move along real fast so that we can talk Green Bay. We play on the road. I do understand how most people feel about the game. They do have a formidable defense, whether I like to look at it that way. And the last game in which they played, one Jordan Love was dealing. With that being said,
4 touchdowns.
What do we expect from the game on both sides offensively? Meaning, do we think we have a Caleb game that shows us a bit more promise? I'm refraining from using the word breakout until he indeed does have one of those games. We've guessed about it several times, been wrong every time, so I'm going to leave that one out of my lexicon right now. But I do want to see that we think who has the better game, Jordan or that guy 18, because I do think we want to just go with a check box before we end this one out. And that I would say today, based on last week, and that's going to keep it real fresh to cheat, Jordan is going to get the edge in quarterbacking for me right now between the two. If I had to give a green check to somebody, Jordan gets the edge today in the quarterback room. So it'll be a 51-49, but he still got the majority.
Okay. So the question is, okay, what's your question? I want to be clear.
Who's gonna have a better game Sunday is your question. I'm going through a check box of who is the better of each position.
Okay.
But who's gonna have a better game, Jordan or Caleb, in your estimation?
Okay. I'm looking. I don't think you gotta take this stuff into consideration. We're looking at cloudy. 18 degrees is going to be the high in Green Bay.
Okay.
That's a hard football. Can Caleb throw it? Yeah, we've seen him do it. We saw him do it last year. We saw him do it this year in Philly. We saw him do it last year in Green Bay. And yes, that was a legit win.
Mm-hmm.
Will he have a better game? You know what? I know you people might not like this. I think it's just gonna be even. I think because Jordan Love likes to throw that ball out there, and he don't mind turning it over. And the Bears don't mind taking it away. So I think we're going to have a couple of those from Jordan. And Caleb takes care of the ball. I see it being even, though. 17, 18 completions. I don't... Yeah. That's where I'm at. I know I asked you what the question was, and I think that was the question.
Mm-hmm.
But I see it being even, man. I would love to say, Caleb just destroys them and picks them apart. I will say, because a lot of it depends on like the field itself. I didn't think the field was gonna be as bad in Philly as it was. I wasn't expecting that wind to be whipping around there either, which affected some passes. But overall, I think it'll be even. I think it'll be even.
Now, running backs, I would dare think that we don't have the advantage. Not to mention a two-headed approach to it. So
yes.
Either, if not both, have the opportunity to do what Josh Jacobs can do. And so I never thought I'd be saying that. So I'm so happy to even be able to just speak that one up. Like, I can do better than what they talking about out there with either one of them. Pick one. Because Swifty is out there having a better year than Saquon right now, and that's having me some giggles on the inside. Shout out to the work you put in, my guy. But wide receivers, which team would have the advantage? Looking at what we got going on right now, because right now you said we got a tie for one, and I think the running back room is a one for us. So wide receivers.
The wide receivers, including tight ends.
Yeah, we're going to the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah, because it's like in some ways it's kind of unfair to do it singularly, because I think they take 2 L's in the sense that Tucker Kraft is out for the season.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. I get a Bears advantage,
and so
the Bears have shown themselves to not only have as many weapons as anybody else, but to be able to utilize them in a way where you can't just key in on one, right? You can't just, well, if we shut down DJ Moore, then we're good. That's not the way the Bears operate. And I love it.
Stu.
I love it.
And I mean, deletion by 1,000 cuts is what how I would classify as offense, and the fact that you don't know who will get the ball, how many times they're going to get the ball, but everybody is ready to get the ball. And very few, if you look at, I see it, if you look at Alameda, even though he lost his spot, he didn't lose his veracity to go out there and catch that ball. Seriously.
That's correct.
That's correct. Because you understand,
seeing that
that's
catch.
Right. You will not get any time, and they do have somebody named Jade Walker that can be activated to get some playing time.
Yes.
So
yes, I love that. I love that we can. Listen. If
healthy
you ain't
competition, bro.
Hey, yes. If you ain't bringing it, don't worry about it, bro. We got somebody else who could take that spot. And Luther Bird's ready to go. I knew. I saw the sign. Okay, I'm sorry, but real quick, I saw the signs with Luther once he was healthy, and I'm like, I know we signed Alameda, which was good for us. It was a smart move, but I think Luther's gonna be in that spot, and might even jump. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it right now. I ain't gonna say it.
Everybody, I'm gonna say it for you. Everybody, but we won't delve deep. Everybody, Stu. That's how I feel. Sooner than later.
Yes,
many people talk about it. Amon-Ra. That's him right there. That's him.
Yep.
Y'all know, but unfortunately for the world,
if you get the blocking down, which
that's his problem. But he got speed that's insurmountable.
Yes.
Hands to the bejesus, and he can get down that field. He got wiggle in him, man. So just when you start to think about blocking is the thing he needs to work on most. He is learning firsthand from the two best blocking wide receivers in the league right now, might I add, and DJ and Rome. Because people talk about targets, no block, no rock, and they have bought in 1,000,000% into this whole philosophy right there. And that right there allows me to understand that, wow, I think that Green Bay has the advantage on defensive line. And I would venture to say, unless we have health come back next week, they have the same advantage in the linebacker crew in terms of their front seven being more fierce than ours. But their secondary don't. I don't think it's one that rivals ours. And this is why I say that. Not only are they the deepest in the league, but they're the most versatile in the league. And that if you notice again, both Kwani, CJ, and I do believe once he's fully proven that he's healthy, you will see a little dog named Kyler all sharing responsibilities of being somewhat of a linebacker, a faux linebacker, as they've shown for the last 2 weeks in blitzing spots where we want to play a heavy dime, as I call it, because they are playing in a dime, but one of them is playing in the linebacker slot because he got the speed to drop into the eyes of the quarterback, or he got the all-out savvy to go get him, and he deploying them at will. He got 3 blitzing safeties, defensive backs, and he know how to use each one of them in their own different way. Chauncey can get you up the middle, around the edges. Like, I don't know, he a man possessed right now for real, in a way in which he can attack you. Kyler gonna get you straight speed. That's right. Chauncey gonna get you. Kyler getting you with straight speed. Kwani think he a thumper, so he trying to go straight at you. But when you think about, that man will go straight through the middle.
Brisker. I didn't hear you mention Brisker.
Well, that's Kwani B, the only person I know on Instagram by the name of it.
Oh, my bad. Bad. You did say the Quan. Shout out to the Quan.
I'm only going with his IG. What the kids call it Quan. So he out here calling us. I don't want to call him what his mama call him because the kids don't like it these days. You just realize, like, seriously, like you said, they all young. They all being able to come together in a way that is developmental, in a way that is pride rearing, in a beneficial way, because it gives testament to the process and what they put into it on a day-to-day basis. Your coach is still learning his job, whether people want to give any credence to that because he seems like a mastermind. He is 12 games into the job. Caleb got more time in his job than Ben has in his. And imagine when he keep continuing in terms of the learning curves that goes along with him, with play calling, with utilization of players and everything else, knowing what he wants as a co-conspirator in the process I call the crime of making my team better for the league, because it's going to be a real heinous one when you see what they're able to continue to do. And I think it starts this week in Green Bay because they can out-physical people now. That line has them believing that you can run, and then pass. And that right there is what makes Ben scary because of the way in which he can deploy the weapons that can catch. You know, he starts the game out with the tight end sometimes.
Listen, he's scheming people open, man.
Everybody.
This is not by chance.
Everybody. It's not just one position group. It's not one player. Everybody can get open, but he schemes everybody open so that you don't have to do that. I need your job is to catch the ball and be ready to go get extra yards. I'm not worried about you out here trying to outmaneuver and outsmart somebody. Yes, I know you got God-given talent, but why do that when I'm showing you the map of how you can just run this route instead of that one? Rub gently instead of harshly, and look at that, both of y'all open. You see how that go? Like, I'm teaching you how to do this to work smart instead of hard. You're going to work hard at learning how to work smart. Very hard. Because like you said, we are not practicing like a championship team. And those things, all of those layered plays, all of the concepts, those are developed in practice. Not a game. Practice. And when you understand that practice matters to the utmost in the way in which he puts his games together, it really just, it speaks to the level of thought that he puts into a game and the game plan. And each one of them is its own separate Super Bowl. And I don't think that he treats any of them. Right now, Chelsea, it says 17-21.
Thanks, ball. That's what it says.
Yeah.
But
so I don't know if they got it back.
Get an update for you.
But it does it does give the indication for the Saints to have the ball right now. So that's what we want.
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
It's Saints ball.
There we go. Tyler Shuck just passed the ball for 10 yards to Devin Neal. So they already moving and grooving with the offense. They're on Miami 46. Minute and 15 left to go. And I did put Tyler Shuck on one of my daily fantasies, but I don't really know how I want this. I think everything, all my parlays and everything as far as games go, I turned on their head for the most part. A la the Rams. They were minus like 600. So had I just taken the points on the Panthers, the world would be a better place. Instead, I got a lot of parity. But if what just happened, and I think I just saw it the right way, my wonderful Texans just went on ahead and took that dub. Salute to the short parlays or the underground and underdog kings. People gonna criticize me right here, but we put together a savvy little holiday blend of 3. That's my favorite number. Green Bay whooping on the Lions' ass because I had a rooting interest in them doing so. The Bears not only going to Philly, but putting a foot up your ever-loving hind parts for dropping the football, Jalen. You understand what I'm saying? And thirdly, those teams, because I have a family Colt fan who does not believe that they can lose their grip on it to the young Titans, as I told them, because of their defense. So when I see them line up against each other, I say to myself, bet on the underdog Houston Texans to go out there and win. And what happens to the tune of 20-16, the Houston Texans go ahead and make my Sunday just a bit sweeter when we talk about parlays out here. So all the rest of them that you made don't matter because that one paid for all of them. We'll talk about it when we talk about it. Nonetheless, we got, look, Stu, if you don't know G-Class, every day we in ESPN, a lot of the cats that pull up and show support, avid listeners, and they know the personalities of damn near everybody. Like they around, they know each other. They know when you change the aliases and still using you words. They know your language. They out here on linguistics out here in the chat when they trying to come up with these sports debate. Anyhow, Stu Dog says Don and Chim still crying in the car. Don Burr and Chim Mitchell are Lion fans. They come to Bearland every day, like a couple other Washington fans and Packer fans and everybody who ain't Bear fans. And they come in and they hate all day. They give very little stat to back up things. They talk about the past and how things used to be, you know, like, boy, the way Glenn Miller played, you know, them type, those were the days, ass shit. They want to talk about those things, but when they wrong, you know, every week they pick us to lose because we ain't played nobody. And if somebody said going in the locker room, say, what they gonna say now? They crying in the car because them Lions be lying, as I always stated. That window is closed on their damn fingers, and nobody noticed it. I told y'all about it, and Dan told you too. These opportunities don't come so very often. You got to capitalize when you can. They did not. And now Jared is being shown to be the pumpkin that he is. The 17 plays y'all had don't work no more. And I believe before we get out of this thing, rest fully in your understanding that whatever the spread is, and I know we're going to be a dog, bet us on the last week of the season. And if you can find a way to tease up, bet it on points. Bet some spread, get you some juice on points. Because I think Ben is going to try to drill every orifice you can think of. He's trying to shove a score up. Because he was embarrassed in Detroit by 31. I finally got my team to start to believe some things that they should be believing. And I do believe they coined the shoe is on the other foot. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no fun when the rabbit get the gun. And I think the embarrassment that you said, because you said you want to embarrass Benny, Dan, Uncle Dan. I heard you. You said it. You said you wanted to do that. You think he don't want to do that too? So y'all stay tuned for that. We jumping all over the place on our schedule because we got 5 games left, and I'm feeling so full of the Kool-Aid that I'm almost trying to find the loss. I got to humble myself and find it in there because it's somewhere. But
it's there.
But
the loss is there.
But show it to me because I ain't gonna bet on it no damn more. The gloves is off. I do understand that I'm presumptuous, but the offense still has to go up.
I think we lose in San Francisco, and the only reason why I say that, man, is every time we go out there, man, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Every single it's like it's a big bad loss too. We sent Jay Cutler out there, and I think he got sacked about 12 times, man. We last year we got embarrassed. Kittle ran all over us.
Okay.
I know we'll be ready.
I know being pissed about how he performed last year. Ben wasn't there. I don't give a shit about none of that type of shit that we talking about. This dude is just as mastermindful as that other guy, and unless they're gonna drop in a clone of Fred Warner this week, I just watched the San Francisco game, and while it was 20 plus, while they handled the Browns, you handled the Browns, and you didn't do so totally offensively because Shadua had some moments where he looked pretty damn good out there. I'm not pumping my chest too much, but if I'm gonna lose the game this year, it'll be to the Packers before I believe we lose to the Niners this year because of what you said. While Ben is not the super historian, I do believe that Ben pays attention to a lot of things that happens from the inception of the team and things that happens around. And don't think that he is not missed on the opportunity to prove himself against one of the elites in the league. I tell you, this is one of those things where we talk about team matchups. Ben wants to show everybody that the way in which you gush over McVay, Shanahan, LaFleur, I want you to forget them. Not talk about me with them. Forget they ass. because I'm not them, and you don't talk about me with them just yet. Some people believe, but you don't talk about me in they lane. You talk about them in their trees. Ben wants to get rid of these trees, baby. I'm trying to tell you, like,
I agree
he's
with
a
you.
mad
I
scientist,
heard him
man.
in an interview. If you go back and listen to, he did an interview with Barstool Big Cat. You know, they got a podcast, but he did an interview before the season, and he mentioned some names of some coaches that he really respects, and these are high level coaches, man. He wants to be in that echelon, as we would say, and I listen. I'm with him. Let's go for it. Listen, I put no limits on you, sir. If you're telling me that we can win these last 5 games, that's insane. Well, my question for you though, sir.
Yep.
So you said you don't see us losing to the 49ers. You see us losing to the Packers before we lose to the 49ers. So do you have us? Where do you see? Week 14, do the Bears win that one and lose week 16, or do they lose week 14 and win week 16? What are you telling me?
If I had to choose, because I've already chosen, they lose neither one of them. I just said which one had a more likely chance to.
So you don't have to lose in either one.
No, I told you which one I thought had a better chance. I didn't tell you. I told in our last prognostications, when we made our last predictions, we skipped straight past the Packers because I told you we win in both of those games.
That's
three
fair.
and three won't work for us in terms of how the division needs to be wrested away for the sake of Ben, the Bears, and Ryan Poles. Ryan said we're gonna take the North and never give it back. You can't take the North half-ass and be still 3 and 3 with the North, because I don't care about records. The way you take the North, in my estimation, and I understand that most of that goes along with actually winning the division, you got to beat the goddamn North. You can't be out there splitting with the North. You have to own or dominate in some capacity the North, meaning 4 out of 6 every year, or you not. Did the Lions go there 3 and 3 and it up every in their little 5 years or whatever? They go out there and you get more than you lost. It's unacceptable to do it any other way, and the Jets did pull it out there. Jets hit a field goal. The Saints just cost me a underdog parlay right there. I thought I was going to pull out. But, hey, you know, when you think about the way in which those types of things go, the Bears served themselves good in some capacity to lose. And by lose, I would even venture to say this week. They say you playing your best football going into the playoffs. I am a bit superstitious. I don't know that I want you to be so peak-ish or ish. Meaning, hell, that would be, if you won the next 5, you've already won. That'd be 10 straight games, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just won 5. Yeah, like seriously, I wouldn't feel comfortable going into the playoffs, even as a number 1 seed, a week off on a 10-game win streak off. I mean, like, see, okay. I'm being serious. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it if it happens.
I don't like to buy.
But
let's not forget too. We had our buy early this week. I think this is the earliest we ever had it. Week 5.
Well, so I mean, it's a replica of last year. But I'm saying, I mean, either or, getting a buy. I think we still got the opportunity to lose a game and be the 1 seed. But I'm trying to see what's the negativity in winning 10 straight games, because like it makes me a bit nervous to think that we peak too soon.
But what's peak? Are you talking about just wins? Because I mean, the way we're playing, we got a long way to go.
And in class, I'm glad that we get to have these type of conversations, because the way in which we just framed that brings me off my very small little ledge that I was about to jump off of, and it. Like, I didn't think about it that way, because I did kind of correlate the two, as opposed to realize that, yes, we are succeeding, but we have not yet peaked. So, in winning 5 more games, because like I said, I believe the last 2 games have shown some peakish qualities, but for lack of the quarterback totally executing, not even in one of these ways where he got to have 400 yards. I'm talking about just one of them games where he go out there, if you got 184 yards, 17 to 23, 3 touchdowns, and da-da-da-da, that's a game for me. Like, because that means everybody else doing their job too. I'm not worried about you throwing for 1,000,000 yards. Now, I do want you to get that 4,000 for me selfishly, just to get out the way and have people get the monkey off our back. Yeah, but he can't get.
He's on pace.
Yeah, but with another 187 or something, it'd be harder. But
I agree.
But he can have one of them games, and I won't care if that's the efficient game that we gonna have out there. Where you just dealing so good that all they doing is running in the second half, because that first half had y'all humming. And so what can I say if you threw for 2 and ran for 1 in the first half? Now y'all just want to kind of play keep away and make the throws that you need to make. I can't rail against it, but it's like if we've started playing some peak football, a 5-game win streak, I wouldn't believe that against these people it couldn't be seen as peaking, because to play these 5 games in that level would to me mean that some of the ills
we're contenders.
Well, and see, for me, I'm solely in the mindset that if even we had a healthy defense, we are contenders, because the offense can do enough. And by that, it's sad to say that we had top 7 or so offense, and I'm saying we can do enough to win a game, but we can do enough out there based on how, what do you call it, the defense will be healthy enough to not only be a takeaway machine, but continue to build upon what they are building upon right now, the actual stack. Yes, right. Because right now they're starting to do some of those things a bit more. We're starting to see a bit more 3 and outs.
3 and outs. Yes, sir.
That's freshness right there. And you're starting to what we call symbiotic football. They are complementing each other in a way that says, I'm going to get at least a first down for you right there. Fear in the eyes when those realize that's why we about to bet. That's what I'm saying. It has to be looked at in that way, because your coach doesn't allow us to take our eye off the prize. The negativity.
I had a question for you, but I know you locked in.
Yeah, well, I saw G Honda question. Are the Bears not? Are we overrated? We not rated. I bet you we still underrated.
How can we? Yeah. How can we be overrated?
I bet you who power rankings are we top 10?
For us.
Thank you.
Y'all wasn't even checking for us until this game. So now we overrated?
Because we dominated Pennsylvania. It's like, bro, power rankings, the highest we got is 13th in the power rankings for anybody. Or maybe 12 for ESPN, because they like to gloss us a little bit. But top 12 is hardly being overrated. Like, they finally respect you as, like, damn, well, yo, you got the record. I can't keep denying you. That's what they said. Come on in, man. You got the money. Shit. We said it costs $1 million. You got it. Come on in. It's like now they want to start saying, no, you got to have a white shirt on. Now you got to have ties. Now you got to have nice shoes. Like, they started moving the goalposts because we got what the requisition is to come into the restaurant. And we ain't having it, G Honda. So if you want to say we overrated, hey, look, for the Bears' purposes, G Honda, I hope that the narrative is that we overrated come Monday. I hope we still got a lot of Chris Canty's and the likes in the world.
Yes.
Because I think they feed as young boys. They feed off of social media. And social media is a dangerous thing in both ways. Meaning it can be dangerous to y'all when y'all shooting shots at them and capping, as they say, when they know they doing better than what you talking about. Or you can go out there and glaze them, as they say in these worlds. Where they can get too wrapped up in themselves based on what's being said. So if I got to choose between the two, talk bad about them. Talk greasy every week. You ain't did nothing.
To bring it back to a mentality, well, this is a football mentality. If you don't like it, stop it. If you don't like what we doing, I don't care what people rate us or rank us. If you don't like what we doing, stop us then. And Philly was your best chance to stop us, and look how that turned out. Goodness, whatever, man. We'll see where it all shakes out at the end of the year.
I mean, but those types of things right there, like while G Honda plays a bit of the antagonist to a degree, he kind of believe it too, just like he believed Aaron Rodgers was good for his team. I'm just trying to tell you that
When he healthy,
man, they gonna finish sub 500 like I said at the beginning of the year. I told
you did say that.
I told you
did
this,
say
and stay tuned.
You did say that.
I did.
They got a big one against Buffalo.
Yeah, and he playing with 3 fractures in that wrist, and think that he the answer. You not touchdown Jesus, and you not that nice no more. But go on out there, fade out into that bright night tonight, young man, and let Mason Rudolph brighten it up again for you. Nope, don't really matter what you talking about. That coach. Let me see. Look now, but Ferg, coach, welcome in first off.
Corliss. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cola. What up, Coach Ferg?
Well, shout out to the Red West, man. Shout out to the Red West, first of all. Morgan Park in the business.
Come on, man. You don't know.
My little sister went to Corliss. I got a sister went to Corliss. I got one that went to Carver. I went to Morgan Park, and somebody went to Finger. We Red West lovers. Unfortunately, I'm the best. Baccalaureate style till we die. Nonetheless, Coach, I expect the negativity or the Stockholm syndrome, if you will, because we have been oppressed some ways by the Bears into beating into submission to believing that we would never have a quarterback based on a 120-year history when my favorite quarterback is the best one we can talk about. And while he could have had a better result, the fact of the matter is he didn't. So he still is not that nice. And we finally get to have quite possibly that happen, meaning have the quarterback that people gush over and really wish they had on their team. And we not ready to commit to it. And another reason why I tell you that is 2018. The last time any of this success popped about for us, Coach, it was 2018. And the reason why some people have skepticism about it is because of 2018. That was a flash in the pan, smoke and mirrors. And while I understand the person with a watchful eye can understand development and know how things are operated differently. With that being said,
what Mitch was doing, no way was that sustainable. That's similar to, and y'all might not like this, but if you go back and look at Washington's year last year, look at who they beat and how Jaden Daniels played and the type of offense that they were running, you know good and well in this league that that's not sustainable. If you want long-term success,
not Cliff Kingsbury.
Not sustainable.
Cliff don't know that.
Cliff
didn't grow. Cliff didn't grow at all because you're still doing what you did in Arizona. You thinking that it was going to keep working with no tweaks and those things weren't going to be able to render themselves.
Yes, sir. Smash that like button, please.
Like, how could you not think that rinse and repeat was not going to work out, especially with the guy who is not built for that type of physicality? Nonetheless, Ben understands that his team is built for that physicality and it don't have to be his quarterback. We are going to put everything up front and behind him to pound this line into submission. And if he needs to, because he has legs, hey, avoid everybody because you are elusive, Houdini. Get your yards and get out of bounds or get down. He does a great job of doing those things. I've always told you I want to protect the ball better, but I do believe that at some point the proof will be in the pudding, and the culmination to having our fans not be so jaded and be able to buy in is to actually see the quarterback go out there and start to look like the team has on the whole. And by that I mean the running game is giving you these like chills multiple times this year. They've electrified you in a way it's like, man, they mean business. The defense, when it comes to taking the ball away, has done the exact same thing for you. I think what they want to have happen is to see your quarterback do it to the point where, just like every other doubter, they have to stop doubting. Because I told you about this chat that I join every day. You have, it's about a 50-50 split. Stu and the people that come over here and rock with me every day are objective. Go right ahead. And the other ones,
I got to step off real quick.
Go ahead. Right, yeah, that's cool. Stu and the rest of them are objective in the way in which they are able to see things. And then you have the others that no matter what you see, my cousin, for example, had us going 7-10. No matter what evidence we presented to him in the beginning of the season or what argument we had to say that we could possibly be a better team, he wasn't willing to believe that. And so now we are 2 games past what he said, and he has no leg to stand on in the argument. But like jump on the bandwagon and enjoy the ride. And like Coach said, the running game is something that travels with us when it's cold out, especially in Chicago. That's how they've always said it. So to realize that your running game is 2.0 to what it has been in some of the past iterations, it is back to some of the days when it was actually the most feared thing on your team besides your defense or linebackers. We get to see that with an added element called the passing game continue to be unlocked and gifted to us on a day-to-day basis. And those types of things in themselves will give me pause if I'm the league to overlook the progress that they make. And then also just on a day-to-day basis, I'm wondering what it would take for fans to fully get on board and totally believe in what the team is doing, can accomplish, will accomplish, and has accomplished. You understand, Coach? Because coming out of college, he was heavily touted for the most part in terms of him, Jaden and Drake. Both of them have had opportunities to be on top of the league performance-wise. What I would like to see is how he continues to take the evolutionary steps to be the guy that many already knew he could be. Because I see every day, like you said, he can read defenses already. He is starting to be able to process better. His play action mastery is what I think is bar none. It's really starting to be a strong point and a staple. And it gives us week to week the opportunity to take what Chelsea said and how they talk about games coming down the special teams being experimental and everything like that. My coach is trying to eliminate that option or necessity. When the innovation for being in his offense is attempted to be shown out there, he is trying to show you that not only does he have an elixir for defenses, he's showing you Chelsea, whether it's exceptional or experimental, we looking for a couple explosive plays on special teams. But for the most part, we look to have those plays be shown to us where we don't have to rely on the third phase being the end-all, be-all when it comes to the way in which we operate. I think Ben wants to have the defense know that it can always rely on the offense to go get points. In turn, the defense wants to always have the offense know that in a pinch, they can have a timely stop or a critical takeaway if it happens to be needed. And it also has itself be lended to evidence that we can get a critical field goal made. We can have those times where a Duvernay or a Josh Blackwell can step up and have us with a wonderful return. Tory Taylor. My apologies. Tory can go out there and do the things needed in his day-to-day to stick a good punt. And I think those types of things give us the complete team that you said. It gives us the energy along with having a complete team. It gives us a complete vision to what the team should be, can be, and will be. It's not like you brought, and most people, including myself, thought you brought the offensive-minded coach in and it wouldn't allow itself to keep the defense afloat. When in fact I was wrong in the way in which Ben assembled this talent on what do you call it? His coaching staff. He gave us the total opportunity to understand that he had a vision well past the offense, and he knows how those two things compare together, and he knows where they start. And I think that this season, while most people, even including my co-host, said that he thought this would be a developmental year, your coach started this whole situation out this year. And as soon as my dog brings me this toy, that squeaking will stop. He just haven't brought it to me. He said, we can win now. He didn't say, I'm going to see how it goes. And most people would say that's coach speak, and he's trying to gas him up. He thought that his team had more than enough to do what was needed to be done right now. And in that instance, he has proven in real time that while he may not have the exact team that he wants, he might not have the exact level of output ratio that we want to have for the team in totality. He is getting more each week out of the team at every level, each individual. And I think everybody's buying in. They buying into this like it's Black Friday prices attached to it, bro. Everybody see the need for it. Everybody know they need it. And it's all but gone. They all bought it up. I went to work the other day. I had a few what we call bandwagon tickets that I was interested in parting with and selling for a nominal fee before it take off. You know, once the train get going too fast, you can't hop on no more. So I'm trying to let people get on while it's real slow.
Bullet train.
Yeah, I'm trying to let you hop on while it's still cold in that thing, and we chugga. I'm letting you get on because once this thing get to Tokyo, baby, ain't no stopping. It ain't no stopping, bro. Like, Ben is out here built for long-term success. He built for durability and for some speed. You know, and see our running backs for details when you talk about that. It's the emulation that he wants in the team itself. He painting that picture on all facets. And next year, he even gets to go straight to the art store and buy the paints that he wants for this canvas. Right now, he just using the paint that he had in the cabinet. Oh, we got a Swift, we got this, we got that. Talk about what he can draft next year. Everything over again.
Is it too soon? We're a little more than halfway through the season. Is it too soon to talk about when do you want to talk about the needs of the Bears? You want to break that down at the end of the year, I'm saying, because I have thoughts now, but I want to see if you think we should wait. Interception. No.
Interception, yeah. And you know he a Steelers fan, so he with the splash plays right there. No, this is. We can always, as a fan, I think it gives us the best opportunity to be a player, a coach, and a GM. You know what I'm saying? Fantasy football gives you the real opportunity to do so, but sports talk is where that originated. Because just like the GM, while the coaches and players are in focus on the now, I guarantee you that coach got some players that he already thinking about turning over next year. And
letting them go.
And he had already thought about it for Ryan's seat, the cap, who I could re-sign, who I'm not going to re-sign, and so on and so forth. And so those things are already being thought about. And while I'm totally able to live in the here and now and know who is on my team today, you have to understand, as a rational fan, that while I won't not enjoy the ride, there are going to be some interchangeable parts out here. And we knew that when we started this season. Many of those parts are things that people wanted to get rid of before the season. You know, people were happy to trade a Cole Kmet before the season started. People were happy to get rid of a Swift.
But they didn't understand. See that, and I would say that most of those people that were happy, or who were saying that, were Chicago sports fans that didn't really understand that when you have a coach like a Ben Johnson, he understands how to utilize these guys so that they show off their strengths. And he limits the showing of their weaknesses. Mm-hmm. Cole Kmet, I look at him as invaluable to this team. Not saying that we can't do it without him, but with him, we're stronger. And you got to give Coach that kind of credit, man. That comes down to like showcasing what you honestly have. I want to give you this stat. The Bears have generated a league high. You talked about splash plays. The Bears have generated a league high 28 explosive plays and a 49.7% success rate, which is second, on design runs since their week 5 bye. I know that's a lot. Chelsea. The Bears have nearly doubled their rushing yards per game. 140.3, second most on design runs since the bye compared to their first 4 games.
Write that down right there. 28 explosive plays for the Bears, Chelsea. Keep that in your bag and write it down the way we said it. 28 explosive plays. I will tell you why when we talk about our Wednesday stream. Wednesday, if you got time, we're gonna break into the splash play. the birth of a splash play. Many people don't know what it is. No, we gonna give you some visual aids, and me and Chelsea gonna break it down from the ignorant point of view, because obviously the average fan don't know what these plays are, including us. Yeah. It's a Nostradamus that knows, and only he knows because he's so high above all the rest of us in the giraffe world. So we're gonna figure out exactly what it is that G Honda, aka the Steelmatic Network, he got a special definition, and we're gonna explore it and teach everybody in the sports world how they can get 3% less smart and still have fun doing it. Nonetheless, G Honda a fool, man. I'm trying to tell you right there. I don't get it. Now, what I do think is, while people did have, I think, a skewed vision of why they want to get rid of certain players, like you think it's just so interchangeable. We got this, I don't need this. You get this, it's not necessarily that, but I do think that when it comes to the numbers and the way in which we're going to play people and so on and so forth and pay people, I think that the coach already took certain things into consideration. And while the shelf life might not be what certain fans would see, i.e., let's say I think coach may have drafted Colston Loveland so that he can get 2 to 3 more years out of Cole before both are not there. Where some other people would say, drafted Colston, trading Cole this week. Like, not necessarily what I think, and it could be somewhere in the middle. But the option to replace Cole is a real option in certain ways because of what he asked the second tight end to do, and the conceivability that they can go ahead and replace that person next year in the draft due to flexibilities would allow it to be discussed. Now,
so my thing about the Cole and Colston situation, I don't think you have to let anybody go. I think Cole was paid. I think that's probably the issue, because Cole was paid he was paid during a time when
he was one of our best playmakers.
He paid. He earned it.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you can get his price tag back down, I don't want to lose Cole.
But you see,
you know what I'm saying?
I dig what you're saying, and if in fact this is where the GM are having those conversations, and I think the season allows those conversations to be massaged in different ways. Whereas, let's say in the beginning of the year, Ben did already have the preconceived notion of who he was letting go. Or, let's say he had a we'll see. Now, the person that we've all tried to jettison in some way, shape, or form, in the example of Cole proves worthy or valuable in a way in which we didn't see. Now, restructuring his contract or what have you, and keeping him in the fold to a lot of other fans may sound a lot better than it did in the beginning of the year, because all you saw was draft capital you can get for him, because we need this, we need that.
Because you didn't see, because you're like, well, he didn't get the catches that he had the year before,
and because
then it's showing you it's not about catches,
and we still looking at it from a position of scarcity where we don't have a left tackle, so we can trade all of this and we can get more picks and this and the third.
Yeah,
and so
let's plug the hole now.
Yeah,
I
and so even in that, when you let the season develop, because even in this season, we went from the draft where people thought Ozzie was a steal to the middle, all of the season where Ozzie's a complete bust because he ain't playing right now. Because that's how some people just extreme and not seeing development as anything. Just you ain't starting today, bust.
And if the Bears have shown you anything, if they've shown you anything this year, they understand how to develop these players. They're not just going to put them out there when they're not ready.
And they understand who can play. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, and where they can play. See, Luke
and
Newman.
The way that they need them to play, not just get them out there on the field.
Luke Newman, a 6th-round pick this year. You didn't hear Luke Newman's name all the time except for inactive until we had a problem where Jonah had a lingering issue, and he didn't lead the game for that. He left for a scratch to the eye, but he was able to come in, and in his 3 plays, he made a world of difference for his 3 plays. Now, he might not get any more plays this year, but those plays were integral for him to get. And now you see,
he's hurt now.
Yeah, he is, but that's what I'm saying. He might not get any more plays, but them plays was pivotal to know he could perform, and it gives the coaches like, you know what, next year I saw some on game film and practice to say I can give him another Theo Benedette try. You see, because Theo was gone all last year. And now Theo still gets the opportunity to develop as a Canadian League player. No pressure. Nobody is mad.
Canadian League Player of the Year player.
That's right.
Let's be clear.
And no disrespect to him, but he gets to develop here again where he's not pressured to perform at an elite left tackle thing. He can be the swing tackle he was always destined to be. And Ozzie has slowly, as we talked about several times, filling in that 6-man rotation. When they went a jumbo up top, he has been practicing that left, and lo and behold, they've been giving him left reps, and nobody has been paying attention to it that way. And recently, now he's playing at the left tackle 2 weeks in a row. Pretty good.
Pretty well.
I'm gonna say pretty good, I might add. Now, if he is able to do what their plan may not have been, but they adjusted very well because he wasn't ready day one, and they developed him to get him ready. They didn't cast aspersions and say, well, he'll never play left tackle. Right now, we're going to get him comfortable with what he does, and we'll slowly integrate him step by step into what he's supposed to do on the opposite side. See Olin Kreutz and things like that. And so now the fruits of the labor is being born. You have Theo, who has been developed in a way in which nobody saw before the year. So now he is a swing tackle. So Braxton, unfortunately, because he was injured, was not able to be traded away, but would have been able to be traded away. And if he indeed still leaves for the right price this year, can yield us a compensatory draft pick if he gets the right price in terms of what he signs for, which he still is a starting left tackle in this league for some team. So those things matter.
Some team. Not for this team.
But
thank you for your service, Braxton.
Thank you. But his service may further extend themselves in the fact that we may get something for him even so and still fill the gap of having a swing tackle with the comfort of being able to go into the draft this year with a late round draft pick, trade back if you would like to because you may have the opportunity to do so with further development of all the players we talk about. And then you can continuously, like Coach said, O-line, D-line, replenish my DBs for the people I got to get rid of. The running back, I can go ahead and delve into in somewhat of a luxury pick. Not first round.
Let me ask you this. It might be too soon, man.
Might be, but we can always talk about it.
Soon. All right, I'm gonna bring it up.
Something wrong with John Madden.
Should we, in this next draft, should we look for DeAndre Swift's replacement?
You will be, I think, unless we talk about again that whole restructuring of things. I don't know that on the other side.
Go ahead.
You want fresh? You want a fresh? You want a fresh person to go?
Faster bruiser.
I know what we want, and I got no problem with believing that they will draft one. But I'm saying draft a replacement or an eventual replacement is because those two things are different in the sense that yes, we can draft a second or third rounder, and I can expect him to go ahead and be the guy because Kyle is firmly entrenched enough where the other guy can learn. And
that's what I'm saying. Yes,
I can take the other higher risk to get another Monungai ticket, meaning I get a 5th round back or something like that, and he's less polished, but he is the speed guy that you talked about to go complimentary of a Monungai.
We need a home, like I know this is a general term, a home run hitter, but we need somebody. And I say this because if you look at the holes that we created in Philly, a faster running back, while DeAndre does show a little shiftiness, but a faster running back would make those, they would go from 10, 12, 15-yard gains to 30, 45, 50-yard scores. This is my belief. This is based off what I saw. Now I get it. You probably don't rock with that.
No, I mean it's not about rocking with it. It's like I saw a lot of shoestring tackles at times that may have, and those things I won't credit or discredit a running back for those types of things because it only take a trip. Soccer is the epitome of teaching you of what a trip can do to you, so that people don't have it misrepresented when you're running 22 miles an hour. Nonetheless, I understand that DeAndre is about 28, and we are almost approaching that.
It's not even age for me.
Well, it is for me because
but a lot of these groin injuries is bothering me too. I mean, it's been a groin all year.
And so again, it has always been speculated even before the season started that DeAndre was going to be replaced. I'm simply giving you the premise that Ben, and he wasn't in the driver's seat last time. He may take a lesson and say, "Hey, we're gonna get rid of Swift 1 year early," unlike Detroit with Montgomery this year, because I think the demise is there. Don't worry about it.
You think?
Hey, I play a lot of fantasy football, man, and based on usage and yards per carry, Montgomery is not knuckles anymore right now. He more like a couple, maybe like a knuckle or something. But you know, like this year, the Lions are lying.
Oh wow.
I mean, seriously, he's lost a step.
What do you think they do? You think they let him go and just give the starting job to Jameer? Because I don't think Jameer is an every down.
No, they
just follow me though. I don't think you want him. Let me say this. I don't think you want him to be an every down back. I think he needs relief.
He's gonna get it.
When he's on the field, he's explosive.
And they're gonna get that. Like, I don't think David has a lot of money where he's just hamstringing them. I believe next year might even be his last year of money. They will get another battering ram to go with him. I'm just saying that this year wasn't the year they were expecting to replace him, and right now he is not yielding the results that he having a Saquon type year, as I want to call it. A Derrick Henry type year. They all looking pretty bad, and as a result, they are using Jameer more this year because D. Montgomery is not being as reliable. Even he used to be like the battering ram and guarantee for touchdowns. He
just to tell you, he signed a 2-year extension through 2027. $18 million extension.
So next year they can get rid of his money.
That's not.
That's what I'm saying. So next year they can get rid of his money. That's what I'm saying. And it looked like a good deal on paper, and it still is. But they're gonna be able to get out of that deal next year and go a little younger. And, that's the same way I see you with the Bears. You are able to, especially with given success, able to see, because they wanted Travion this year. And I don't think the Travion would have nullified them from drafting Mononga still in the 7th round.
No, I think they would have still gotten Mononga.
Because Ben always wants a 2-back system. So I don't doubt that Ben can find the next person to fit his system next year, and it can be a luxury pick or not, based on what Ben needs. And right now he is doing the things that I think he needs to be able to trust the choices that he makes either way. So if he says we restructure and keep Swifty, I'm fine with it, knowing that you still have a guy that may be in the folds, because you do have a numbers game with a Ian Wheelers or a Britton Brown. Let's not forget about a Britton Brown. And while he may not be,
we cut him though.
Britton, no, he on the practice squad. You only cut him because you can't have 3 running backs right now. I'm just speaking to the way in which they look at everything. You always have the opportunity to draft a new one and keep something in the fold, and I don't believe that it's going to dissipate whether they keep Swift or not. So I could see a world in which they still draft a running back while Swift is still on the roster, or they have an opportunity to still part ways and trade something like him, which you don't see happen very often, but they might be able to do so. The opportunities are endless, and we look at these things only because of what is the underlying reason we can look at any of this, G? Winning. We are winning.
The wins.
We're not winning in a way
that's what I'm saying. You make adjustments when you're losing and when you're winning. Like the adjustment, the adjustments don't stop just because you're winning now. Like, everything is good, and you can see teams that do that.
Yes. Like
a Washington. I know I brought them up twice already.
They tried to go free agent bargain and everything like that instead of trying to develop the rest of their players through the draft. That's going to mean something to the culmination of how they want to keep it. And so, just like Coach said, I'm not amenable. I mean, I am amenable to keeping Swift because Swift is under contract. I'm and in case you don't know, Coach Ferg, I may be the biggest Swiftie in the real world in football out here. When it comes to Bears fans, of all of my contemporaries and friends, and I'm not zealot, and I'm not the person.
You are a big Swift fan.
I am more. I'm more
it.
of a proponent for him than most, and it's not the way in which anybody else thinks. It's just that people speak so ill of him that I find myself being the person that is his public defender. Not in the sense that, like I said, I've never thought he was a top of the league running back, but I always thought that he has been way higher than most people want to give him credit for, and a running scheme like Ben's, along with Eric Bieniemy and the team that we have, was going to allow him to flourish just the same. I don't deviate from that particular thought process because I believe that whether we upgrade or don't, I think that Ben is giving us the opportunity to have faith that the running game will thrive because he wants that to be the standard, and I think he's going to continue to have that standard for whoever he has in the backfield. I just think it is DeAndre right now because he's giving you very little besides the tissue injuries to question that. And, you know, many people had questions about it at the start of the year, with the exception of me. And we already going to continue to say, I get a lot of flack for bets that I make and proclamations as well, as you should, because I'm in I told you so type. And I told you so. And right now, when we talked about Monangai and when we talked about the running back room, I had those types of things to get in a position of comfort in what I thought. At the same time, when we talk about these changes, Coach, this is not for me change things out because you have success in a season. For me, it is and even with Super Bowl teams, the Super Bowl team salaries change things, but on every team you should always anticipate those changes happening. If you garner your team and put it together in a way that renders successful you wanted to, you always anticipate losing coaches, players, and everything else. So your scouting never stops. You don't ever quit on any accord. Free agency, drafting, that's a full-time job for a reason because of such success. Everybody want what you got when you're successful. And that's never going to not be the recipe. First time you win, everybody wants your players. Everybody wants your coaches. Everybody wants the Gatorade flavor that y'all had. They want to get it from the company you bought it from. It's just how that thing they go. They want to go ahead and do it the way you did it. See, Kansas City, where did we get our GM from? Off of their tree because they were doing everything right. Drafting the next man up. They drafted them all right. They didn't fall off. What happened was they got a bit cute in terms of their wide receivers, and they got totally reliant on their quarterback. They tried to go get some players that weren't the best. When you talk about a Sky Moore, who now plays for another team, and some of the other guys who they just thought they can swap in and out, they weren't the guys that they thought. They were decent, but they wasn't Tyreek Hill. You traded him prematurely, and your team wasn't constructed in a way that didn't give you long-term success. At the same time, right now we're seeing some of the changes to that being a little less than better on the return, and I think that Ryan and the crew has to look at these things that we talk about when we talk about getting rid of players or upgrading players. Not for me to start to make wholesale changes to any team, but tweaks are always meant to be made to your business model and everything else. And while you don't deviate from what works, i.e. the running game, the parts at times should be interchangeable in your car. And so I'm not saying get rid of key players, but I am speaking to the fact that your coach,
you look at the scheme and see where you can improve.
Where you can improve and where you can prune. And that's all I'm speaking about. I like DeAndre more than most, but if the opportunity, don't tell me this year that based on what I've seen, Travion Henderson couldn't have replaced him at a high level by week 5 under Ryan's tutelage. And so those are the things that I speak of.
And the enemies.
And so those are the things I speak of when we talk about. Exactly.
He had a done guy ready. And
watch the clips from all of the beginning of the year. Those are the things that totally get you in that mode. I'm not trying to get rid of people who know the playbook or anything else. I'm merely saying that there are going to be several people that just through osmosis alone that won't be on the team, and that playbook will have to be learned by some other people. That's right. It's
through winning. You know what it is, dude? It's through winning, because when you losing, you just looking for winning players, right? But then when you start winning, now you got to get to some tight situations and let's see who's who. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can win when we playing against, and this goes back to who we play. You could show winning ability when we playing against Cincinnati or New Orleans or somebody like that. But can you show the same winning ability? Can you help us get over the hump when we playing against a Green Bay, a LA, a Seattle? Are you that same player? We're gonna find out. That's why I love this time of year, man. I love this time of year, and it's so good that the Bears are winning, because let's get some stuff answered here. You know what I'm saying? Let's find out what's really going on. Quick question for you, man. Did you get a question? I thought I saw that in the chat. Did you get a question? I thought I saw somebody say that they put a question in the old vidIQ.
Let me see. Did I miss a question from
Colston needs to be y'all's number one.
Don't talk to G Honda, man. We just got to talking about craziness. My tight end needs to be my number one option, man. Leave it to G Honda, man. No. I don't think I missed any questions necessarily.
See, it says Rachel 3X sent a question or a topic.
Oh, wait a minute, Rachel. Let me go back for my Rachel.
Yeah, I thought I saw that.
It's the most important question here. Rachel is there. Rachel send a question. Oh, she told Bodrick to send a question, so who she asked a question to? She say, knock it off and watch Mr. ESPN.
No more pretty boy football. You right about that, Coach?
Bodrick.
You right about that?
They got me out here. I don't know who they asked. Maybe she responded to Bodrick. Yeah, I know. I don't see Rachel's question for us. Yeah, she could have been talking to Chelsea right then, because her and Chelsea having a dialogue. Because Rachel is telling her she's been around since Madden and Summerall. With the talking points out here.
Sent the question. Thanks.
Yeah, telling Bodrick
got you. Okay.
Get on out of our business. Bodrick's being in my business sometimes, man. I done told Bodrick to stop timing people out for caps, and to do it anyway. So Bodrick really hate capital letters. G Honda get timed up the most, and that's how I know G Honda just don't care. G Honda is here every stream, and G Honda is the one to get timed out for all caps. Like, he don't know not to do it, but he don't care. He don't care at all. Did the Jets win? Did the Jets win that game, by the way? Because
the Jets did win.
And that's crazy right there. Oh, yeah, field goal. They did win that game. Atlanta, Kirk Cousins, when we talk about replacements and stuff like that, those are the situations where you really have to start looking at your team as to how we can potentially upgrade, coach. I know the playbook is what you want, and so that's where I think that our coach is reliant upon the practice squad players, because some of those players will make the transition next year to the.
But the GM screwed them out there in Atlanta, man. Ain't no way you sign Kirk Cousins and then you draft a quarterback instead of drafting a Dunze or another player. That makes no sense, dude. Now look at you.
I mean, well, that same GM hired Ryan Pace to be on his staff. So, I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, they tell you what they gonna tell you, how they tell it to you. That's those things right there. Those are the reasons why I know that a Kevin Warren, a Ryan Poles, and I want everybody, before I get out of this thing right here, my stamp of approval in this episode right here is going to none other than my general manager. What we talking about? Now, this is what I want to say. Just like DeAndre Swift, I may be the ever optimist and the apologizer and so on and so forth. And I know of all the failures that my GM has had. But I've always told people that a GM and a coach has a symbiotic relationship, a working relationship, and I go get what you say you need to best win a game. Now I may have 30,000 players to choose from in giving you opinions or feedback as to how we select those said players, but you have given me a blueprint for how you want to operate within the system. And as a general manager, I go out and I try to acquire the players that you, coaching staff, need to win. So, when we talk about all the second round picks this year, check out my stream when I predicted we had 3 of them. When we talk about the Roma Dunzes, the Calebs, the trade to acquire all of that, the haul that we know as DJ, Caleb, Tariq Stevenson, Kyle Monunga. Don't have me go through all the picks that we got and all the players we got that are actual starters and contributors to the team because of said play. We're going to talk about the Claypools and the Valises and, people focus on, and it always rings true. You can do 99 good things, and people will know the one thing you did wrong. And I understand all of the missteps. I saw them all. I was there. I agree with you. I talked about them. At the same time, for a person in his position, they have to be right. Let's just say 52% of the time. So that 48% exists.
I would say more.
Yeah, but that 40. Let's say that. Let's just give it to you there because it's the majority of the time. It hits and misses and everything. That's why people try to acquire draft picks because half of them are alleged to not amount to what they were drafted as. So if you got 6 of them, 3 supposed to be good. By that metric, I understand that's 50% of your draft, and now we're supposed to worry about free agency and so on and so forth. But the man has done what he needed to do in free agency to acquire what was needed for our rushing attack. The man signed the players that are on our team to help us with said offense and rushing attack. The man drafted, in conjunction with the coach, the new players and some of the old players that have thrived, albeit misused by the old staff. Now look polished up. See Tremaine Edmonds for details. Somebody knew that they had the right
Noah Sewell
prototype. Thank you. They had the right players. You maybe didn't have the right coach for that. And now you get to understand that the GM didn't look so bad because everybody ain't good. Yo, contraire, mon frere. Frenchie told you that all of them are not bad, and a lot more of them are looking better for being, one, held to their draft status in some ways, meaning you don't want a 4th, 5th rounder playing like a Pro Bowler because they asked for everything he drafted to be a Pro Bowler, not just a contributor, not an Austin Booker who looks good for a 5th round pick. But I know that you not the end all be all to my pass rushing issue. So
Not
while,
yet.
so but
he looked good in that run game, and that run game stopping over.
He can ascend into one of those players, and that's fine. But last year, because the 5th round pick didn't turn into J.J. Watt or T.J. Watt, then it's a bad pick. Like, let people have development. Yeah. Let us understand that people were drafted where they were because of certain given scouting reports. And sometimes the scouting report is right. So maybe Shadua didn't have the processing they needed. Thank you. Maybe Shadua didn't have the processing they needed early on, and somebody was trying to hold them back. And all their misevaluations could be wrong, could be right. We talked about it on both sides. Sometimes you misevaluate. Sometimes you over-evaluate. Every player has development issues. None is linear pink. Nobody learns the same way or at the same rate. What you want to understand is that they learn the same thing. And right now, my coach is putting us in a position for everybody to learn the same thing. And when I have a coach that teaches a system, a mantra, a way of living and performing so well, I worry less about new people learning the playbook because I'm not expecting wholesale turnover. And I do understand that anybody that is added to the fold, he has a plan for. He acquires them based on knowing a great deal of their level of execution, whether it be on pass blocking, whether it be pass protection, whatever it is that they need. I think he's doing a damn good job of diagnosing these things in real time, and I think that will permeate himself throughout the scouting throughout the course of the year. I think that all of those things will be handled in a way that gives me very little pause to worry about who we keep, who we get rid of, or anything in the realm of the off season, as I have tunnel vision and I got giraffe sights on what's going on right now. I told you, look at my background right now. We amongst the clouds over here because that's where my team got me feeling like I'm sitting above the buildings. I can see everything. I can see clearly now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on the perch, first in the NFC. I'm perched above everything. I'm looking down like an eagle, but I'm a bear. You understand what I'm saying? We got everything going on for us out here, and so it gives you a level of confidence, a level of arrogance at times as a fan, and I'm allowed to have it because I don't have to perform. But I do have to be right on the things in which I believe and on the things I talk about. And we've been talking about these things from day one when we had our first very light, playful day of prognostication for the future in terms of the season records. 13-14 was looked at like I was crazy out here, and let's just be honest, I was. But now that we move into the latter part of the season, all of the craziness on both sides can be put to bed or totally elevated. And somebody can look like a genius, like they should be on SportsCenter. Like they can go back to all of these live streams that are here for everybody to see so they can see what I said and know that I said what I said. And I ain't make this up. And I gave you sound reasons for it. Sometimes maybe a bit more fanatical than needed. Sometimes without any evidence to go along with it. But we do understand that there are certain principles that go along with what both of us thought and many of us thought to start the season. And it gives us the opportunity.
I think
go ahead.
Everything we said, we gave it the caveat of if Ben Johnson is who we think he is.
Thank you. And he is who we thought he was. And we ain't letting y'all off the hook. It's the point. That's what it's about out here, man. Like, it's a different way to be able to look at things, man. When you go into a business that's not been functioning well, or a classroom, anybody who old enough to watch Sister Act back in the day, y'all saw Sister Act 2, and you saw the music class before Sister Mary Clarence got there. What a bit of organization, structure, a little bit of resolve, no matter how you got it, tough or otherwise, and a plan. How those things turn hope to belief to knowing. Mm-hmm. She hoped she can turn it around. She had the class believe they will acquire. And then she had them know they can go out and win that thing. You understand what I'm saying? Loose fitting association in an analogy, but you get how a culture has changed in every setting based on who's leading it. And based on what we thought, we have gotten, I would venture to say, more at this given time than we thought we was getting. And it makes you want to run through a brick wall for them. It make you, Chelsea, want to go out there and watch that movie and get familiar with it so that you can know exactly what the feeling felt like. That's right. Let you know what City High was about before City High came into existence. Because that little boy didn't know he had the Shaka Zulu in himself out there before la 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 la. He didn't know he had that in him. Oh, happy day. That's where I'm at right now. Oh, happy day. When bears go win. We out here with him. Oh, my bears gonna win. What my boy say out there? Bear down out there. I know you heard bear down. Go home, Trav. If y'all ain't heard it out there, he get me going. He said Rome wasn't built in a day. But guess what? In 12 weeks, y'all see what Rome looking like out there. And I got to say it's fan-fucking-tabulous. So with that being said, G, you got any final thoughts of me, man, as we head into rivalry week, Pack of Town, wine and cheese socials are plenty as we wrap it up and get on out of here and enjoy the rest of this Sunday. Because I don't even care about football so much. When my Bears win, I shut down.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm chilling. Yeah. It's a good time to be a Bears fan. I'm seeing a lot more people putting stuff on their social medias, talking about bear down and all this other stuff, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get upset about it. Now we on your radar, but just know that Mailbox Sports brought it to you first. Okay, we did the season preview. We discussed each game, and we told you what was going to happen. And for the most part, that has happened thus far. So let's see how the rest of this thing goes, man. I feel real good. It's Packer week, so we're just gonna take it we're gonna take it 1 week at a time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not get ahead of our skis, okay? 1 week at a time. Let's go up to Green Bay, show them who we are, and then come on back, okay? And then we'll talk about that.
That's what Coach saying. Go 1-0 every week.
Yes,
and
that's the goal.
And you know what I've heard for the last 8 weeks? I heard 18 say we're trying to go 1-0 every week. If we talk about any parrots out here, I got one favorite parrot, and it's 18 because he's starting to parrot everything that his coach says.
Which is how it should be.
And that means all you do is hear his damn voice over and over and over and over again, telling you what needs to be given. And that message is being heard loud and clear. And now you are the conduit to your team for said message. It is teaching me a refreshing way in which to watch a quarterback develop. It is teaching, hopefully, our city to have patience when you are having productivity be attached to it. Because I do think, even me, I've been guilty of not having the two mesh up well. And sometimes I want to give you more grace than you should be given, because there's no rendered result to actually show, in fact, that you deserve it of said deference. So with that, I over the moon about the way in which the production is going along with the positivities, and the tough love and the parenting is still not stopped even until week 12. He's not stopped telling you an honest assessment of what needs to happen, what can happen, and what will happen for him right now. Coach, hey, he say enjoy chopping it up from Maywood to the Wild Hunnets. And Coach, you understand, I'm born and raised in the Hunnets. I'm a State Street baby. Morgan Park is the furthest outside the Hunnets when we go to the Beverly area as I might have got at times in life. So salute to everybody in the city. I hope everybody is enjoying the holiday appropriately. Meaning, go out there and puff your chest out and peacock, Bear fans, because, I mean, let's just talk about it. It's fleeting in sports anyway. It is not promised at all times. And even though I believe we got some sustainability to it, I want to go ahead and enjoy what's right in front of us right now. So, just like G Honda.
Before the expectations get put on us.
Because, oh my God. On us. By us.
That's fine, too.
You understand? You get real caviar taste out here once you had one little scoop on the cracker, and now you need nothing but beluga. I need beluga every day, right? That's how we gonna expect it. You know, now we got to beat the Eagles. Now you don't. Last week they were scared against the step up in competition. Now you expect people to go out there and kick ass because you beat the champs. You see, like certain people gonna rope you in like that. I do it myself. It's called, I'm give you all the credit in the world, G Honda, and the Steelers gonna win. The Steelers gonna win the AFC North convincingly. So when they fall on their face, we can say, well, what happened, man? I mean, y'all was supposed to win. I can put pressure on you the other way. I can reverse chokehold you, and I ain't trying to get you like that right now. I ain't trying to have you walk into the trap, but G Honda, you walked into the trap. I'm trying to tell you, man. Shout out to the Bengals, who ain't gonna bungle it no more. Y'all heard it here first. If you can get you a small shekel bet on the Bengals winning the division, go ahead and bet it right now. Because Baltimore effed around and found out that on Thanksgiving they had a chance to hold on, and they didn't. And with that being said, Chi-Town stand up. Bear fans stand proud. Until next delivery, G-Class, we will, in fact, have some Packer fans in the Discord this week. I try to get everybody's fan here because I want them to sit here and be quiet in my presence and have nothing to say as their team gets dismantled because they pop they shit all the time. Every fan. I'm talking about from Minnesota on down. I ain't got nothing but jaw jacking. And when you a losing franchise, you got to take it. But guess what? I'm not. I made a foolish bet to some at the beginning of the year that the Bears are going to win the NFC North. And guess what? Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Now.
Should I cash out? Should I not? I don't know. Who knows? We'll talk about it later on. Until next time, until next delivery class, I appreciate you, bro, as always, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We gonna get out this thing with my exit. I like to, hey, you know what I'm gonna do next time? I'm gonna find a way better way to get my exit screen popped up out here, because sometimes we supposed to check out content besides what we talking about right now, everybody. So if you could, and you are not subscribed to the page, go ahead and do so. If you are indeed subscribed to the page, please go check out any of my watchable content. We got playlists for the videos. We got playlists for junk mail, i.e. the drama that goes on in our particular sports life, not just the things that happen in between the sidelines. So check out the videos, check out the live streams, even check out the shorts. Till next time, we're going to get at you. Shout out to Jay Tillman as every time, because I love this theme.